Hey, how's it going? Bob the Vape and Computer Guy. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new OPPO RTA by Eleaf. So this is an RTA by Eleaf. It's called the OPPO RTA. All right. Yeah, what can I say about it? It's an RTA. It's a small, compact RTA. It looks good. It doesn't vape so great, though. I got some of my own DIY juice in here that I know exactly what it tastes like, and it's really not so great in this tank. Let's dive down, take a look at it up close. We're going to build it with the coils that came with it, and it's a bit of a long build process because I put in their coils. Their coils just didn't fit good. I didn't like it. The coils were just too big for it, so I took them out and put my own coils in, smaller diameter coils, which worked better. Go watch that part if you want to jump through that and then come back up here if it seems like it's taking too long, but I wanted to show you everything about it. Alright, so let's take a look down at the table. We have the OPPO RTA by Eleaf. The silver version also comes in black. Specs for you there. Instruction manual there. Not really a manual, more like a little pamphlet. Some organic cotton. A tool and two coils. Looks like some standard Claptons. Wonderful vape band, which they seem to love to do at Eleaf. Here's your OPPO RTA. OPPO? Alright. Not free spinning, locks in place. Standard drip tip. Tight fit on there. Top fill. Plenty of room in there for filling. Looks like a good seal on that top. See if this comes off separately. Alright, so it looks like this is attached to the top. I'm not so crazy about that. I like to be, once you put your cotton in here, I'd like to be able to take this piece normally and fit it over your coils and your build deck to make sure that the cotton is good under there and that you have just amount that you want sticking out and so forth. With this, you're going to end up screwing it in like this, spinning it, and if your cotton is hanging down there, you may end up moving the cotton a little bit. I don't know. It's what it is. But there's your build deck. Let's throw in the coils that came with it. There you go. Looks like some standard Claptons. Nothing special. Not the prettiest set of coils, but they'll do. Okay, they're burning good. Let them cool for a moment, and then we're going to wick them. At this point, I always take it off to do this part while holding it. Always feels like 1,000 turns, but so if we look about how long they are, usually you can eye it. You can see that's too much on that side because it's going to hang down. Because once you tighten on that the rest of the chimney, you don't want it to be hanging out too low, and you don't want to fill these little juice wells, these reservoirs, you don't want to fill them too much with cotton, or you'll prevent it from flowing in. So like this one looks a little too much. Finally found the juice that I wanted. This is not strawberry waffle. This is used up. This is my own some homemade DIY. Let that sink in there. I usually put a little bit underneath. Make sure the cotton is all wet. Grab my tweezers. And you kind of just gotta place it where it's gonna go. And this looks like too much cotton, but with the size of these coils, it's what was needed to fit in there. So I'm really not too crazy about this build, the way this builds, because now we're gonna have to get the rest of the chimney cap on there, and still, you know, your threads are here, so they have to go on these threads, so the threads have to be clear, but you still want to get your cotton in the right place. It gets to be a pain, and so I'm not too happy with the build design on this at this point, because in fact it might even be too much now, because the chimney is gonna it's hitting my coils, and these are the coils that came with it. Okay, so that means even with those big coils, they're just they're too far out. Okay, which I should have noticed before, but I didn't. So all you can do at that point is move your coils in more. All right. So my messy desk here. Gonna loosen this. Loosen this. Let's see, will that even fit now? Now I don't know if that's going to short out. I don't know if I'm touching the coils. I mean, this is the coils they give you. Alright, so what we're going to have to do, and I should have just paid more attention when building it to see that I was not going to fit that chimney cap on it. I should have tried that ahead of time. There's a learning lesson for you guys. So what's happening is when you go to put this on, you can see I'm slightly touching those coils. It's just too close. It's just too close, and it's a very tight build deck. So I would not use coils this big normally on this, but this is what they gave us. So you know, you're trying to use the coils they supply, and these coils are just too big of a diameter coil to easily place on here. So put it in a little tighter. And of course now it's a juicy mess. Alright. But basically you got to bring that in as close as you can. course, it still can't be touching anything, or you'll short out. Now we're going to have to dry burn this and get this back in a good position. But even before we do that, let's clean some juice off my hands. This is a pretty disgusting build, huh? I know, didn't come out ideal. Alright, now, it's fitting over it, but I can't tell if I'm still touching the metal or not. Really tight. I would not want to use these coils in here ever again. And I'm just using it because, again, this is what they supply, but I would never use coils this big in this build. In this deck, I mean. You can see I'm just trying to get that in as far as I can. And you can see how much more, just by that extra coil that's there, how much further it's in than it was before. Alright. Let's cut off that little extra pieces. Because sometimes that couldn't touch the coil on the other side and cause a problem. So, let's see how that looks. Gotta burn that juice off that's on there. This side's not even heating up. So it's probably not tight. So lesson number one, throw out the coils that come with this and put a smaller build in there when you get this, if you get this. Yeah, don't use these coils. In fact, let's see. What's the diameter on that? That's pretty wide. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to use these lousy coils. Don't use these coils that came with this thing. If you buy this, throw out the coils that came with it. Put some new coils in there. This is just a waste, and it's ridiculous. Now remember, if you're doing what I'm doing, these coils are hot. And let's throw a smaller diameter coil of my own in here. That will work much, much better. And we'll fix those afterwards. Well, that was a wasted bit of time there. About the same height. Get a reading, 0.2. Theirs was reading 0.4. I'm happier with a 0.2. Much nicer. Okay, let that cool for a moment, and we will re-wick. All right, here we go, second time. Hey, it's all covered with juice. My hands are slippery. What can I do? This has been one messy, sloppy, juicy, slightly aggravating build. And you haven't even seen most of it because I've skipped through a bunch of it. Because you'd be bored out of your mind watching me play with this thing. But so far, I don't like the coils they give you. I don't like the way the build deck works. This better be one damn good vape. So you gotta make sure you have your threads clear when you have to wick ones like this. Then you're gonna have to get things to stay where you want as you throw this on. And that's probably, it's too much cotton, but I'm thinking that it's gonna push back in there once you get it threaded right. But the cotton's gonna get onto those threads. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh, I felt it click though. So as you see, the cotton looked to me like it was going to push back up, but it's not. It's staying down in there. But the problem is, that's a lot of cotton. It's actually, you know, packed in there. So, like in this corner here, you know, that's just too much cotton. It's going to pack in there. It's not going to wick well. And when you have too much cotton, your juice isn't going to flow. So I'm using my snippers here, now that I like pushed it down as I was doing it, putting on the top. I'm going to try and trim off a little bit, make it a little better. The trick is to not get it on the threads. Try to feel it grab like that. If you heard that click. Alright, I can't even tell if it's all the way down in there. Looks like there's still a gap there, but it feels like it's on tight. I'm just going to have to juice this up and see if she leaks and see what happens. Alright, let's go back up on top after this nightmare close-up build. Yeah, so I think the coils that came with it were just too big. I put in my own smaller diameter. I think they were 2mm diameter, and theirs seemed like maybe a 3mm diameter. I don't know. But so once I rebuilt it, rewicked it, I don't like the way it wicks because you don't have a ring to go around your cotton, so you can't place your cotton in the juice wells and have a ring around it or anything like that. It's just awkward. It's just not working well. There's a lot better choices out there. You know, that's always the thing. You may buy this, you may wick it, it may work fine for you, you may be very happy with it. But I look at it as, and a lot of people have said this to me before, when I give something, not a horrible review, but a review that's saying don't buy it, they say, well, you know, I did it and it works great. Well, that's wonderful. But if you've tried 20, 30, 50, 100 different similar tanks or RTAs, and you find there are ones that are much better, then you can't give this a good review. The only reason it gets a good review is if it does a great job. You know, it can't just do an okay job. It can't be usable. It's got to be better than the best that's out there, or at least in the same league, in order to get a review that says, yes, go out and buy this. All right? I still love the Sense RTA. The iJoy Tornado's okay. The Griffin 25. Those are my favorite RTAs, and they work well. Every time I build them, I can vape on them, and I enjoy it, okay, with those RTAs. You take an RTA like this, which works fine, but it doesn't compare to those. Those are much better choices, and that's why I end up giving something a thumbs down or do not buy review. And with this, it's like there's no reason to buy it. You know, there's better things out there. If you're going to spend your $25, $35, $40 on a tank, there are better ones out there than this. You know, it is what it is, but then it takes something better. And it's just much better taste, much better vape, less spit back, like less gurgling, less problems with the juice getting to the cotton fast enough. you know, there's just better choices out there. So the OPPO RTA by Eleaf, not that good. I liked their recent, I forget the name of it. Here it is. Whatever they were calling, I'm so bad with names. I don't know where I put the box. Their first dripper, check a couple videos back. My brain doesn't work well with names. Their first dripper that they've introduced, very good product. I like it a lot. This OPPO RTA is a do not buy. So there you go. That's what I think about it. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you soon.